Good evening and welcome to another inspiring episode of your favorite show, She Is, the show that empowers women all over the world to believe in themselves and set out to achieve their dreams despite whatever challenge the life throws at them. The show is proudly brought to you by Smile GH Photography. Smile GH is a production house that are experts in the production of all your events. So if you want your weddings, your anniversaries, your pictures captured with style and quality, call Smile GH now on 026 1089 346 or 024-008-1636. Also follow them on all social media platforms at Smile GH Photography. Thanks to Templesi Court also. Templesi Court is located inside Jolu, right opposite the Embassy of Equatorial Guinea. If you want a place to relax with the family, or a place to have a conference meeting, a place to have fun, Templesi Court is the right place to be. Call them on 0244-730025 or 0244-292520. Also thanks to Ogidi Brown Enterprise. They are producers and distributors of Kimabo, beautiful and affordable towels. Contact them for some on 020-2065-920. Also thanks to Excellent Framing GH for the beautiful frames that we give to our guests. If you want any beautiful picture framed, contact Excellent Framing GH on 050-6153316, 050-6153316. Also thanks to Smart Trends for my lovely outfit. If you want something casual, something for your wedding, something for your outing, contact Smart Trends on 027-1381-428, 027-1381-428. And finally, thanks to Queen Kesh Kitchen for the amazing dishes that you provide us with. Call them on 057-6591-430 or 024-170-513. My name is Richmond Opong Frimpong. After the break, you get to meet our guest. Welcome back. If you just tuned in, you're watching She Is and you haven't missed anything. Today on the show, we have an amazing woman. She has an inspiring story, a story that is going to move you from one place to the other. You're going to be motivated after hearing her story. Her name is Mrs. Monica Kwawu. She is the CEO of EUF. They are producers of authentic local beverages. She has a story to tell us. Hello, Mrs. Monica. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rich.
How are you?
I'm by God.
You're looking amazing.
Thank you.
I know you've been through a lot, and God has brought you this far.
Yeah.
Let's start off from growing up. How was childhood like for you? Because a lot of people have the rosy childhood and all that, but I understand you didn't have it that way. How was it for you? Tell us.
All right, thank you so much, Rich. And I want to salute my viewers who are listening and watching us. And first of all, I also want to thank God for how far He has brought me and the opportunity to be on this show with you. It has not been easy. So I always begin by saying that whoever is watching us or listening to us, there's one word I always give as my intro, that you can grow among thorns. When the going becomes so tough and hard, just as it happened in the life of the Israelites. Bible said that they were once a while put in a particular village called Goshen. And the more they were pressed on, the better they become. Life has not been easy at all. Growing up, I grew with my mom, that is a single mother, who was a Kayayo. My mother was a Kayayo. We normally call them the border Kayayo. You know, we have the Tudu ones and other ones, but She was a Kayayo at Aflau border. And so they help people to transport their luggage from Togo and other things.
Yeah.
So I grew with my mother, who was a Kayayo. And then you can imagine how it will be with 4 other siblings. So we are 5. So I know my dad, anytime he comes around, maybe case of funeral and other things.
Was he also a Kayayo?
No, not at all.
Okay.
He was a farmer in another village. And so he comes around once a while in case there's a funeral. But knowing where my dad was then was when I was getting ready to marry. Yes, that was when my responsible and a loving husband has to pressurize me and said, no, we have to know where your dad is. And I think it was that period that I actually knew where
He lived.
he lived. Yeah, and so with a single mother, it was not easy. I think after the break, she married another man.
Okay.
So I stayed with my grandmother mostly. She comes around to pay visit and she goes back. Yeah. So life was very, very tough.
How was education for you?
Yes. Education with the livelihood and survival was very tough. So I'll give you some challenges that will blow your mind. With my grandmother, I was at the same time going through my basic education.
Yeah.
And so you can imagine feeding even at home was so difficult. And so these are a few things that we went through. I'm a native of Aflau, to be specific. And so I mostly live at the market square to pick food. I picked food from the market square, specifically, normally go to the market square with a cousin of mine who stayed with my grandma then. We normally pick the rotten oranges. Sometime after school, my grandma had few goats, and so you see us with pans going to the Aflau market to pick rotten oranges. And during that process, sometimes the women who are in charge of this heaped oranges, you see them throwing the rotten ones at us. So it came to a point that you have to seek permission from them. So we normally go to them and we'll be like, oh, can you permit us to pick some of the rotten oranges to feed our goats? And so sometimes with that permission, they allow us. You pick them, you come home and then you wash them nicely. You cut off the most rotten part of it, maybe for the goats, and the other side that is a little bit better, and that is what you feed on. And so that was feeding. And then too, with my grandma, I had a backyard garden. Those from our flower side, our major food crop, one of them is the onion. Okay. So I had my own onion farm that I normally use the watering can to water after school. And with my grandma to survive and be able to get few things for my school and stationery and other things, especially during holidays, you see me preparing kinky. I know how to prepare kinky because it came to a point in time where my grandma life became so difficult that people come to her and then they seek the permission to take me as housemaid. Okay. So I stayed with about 4 people serving as house help. I stayed in Togo before with a certain woman and other people.
And how was the treatment there?
My brother, how will it be? As usual, as maid, It has not been easy. I can give one typical example that I've never forgotten, that I always use the medium to plead with people who have maids should not maltreat them, because they will never forget whatever they are going through. I stayed with a man before that he promised to send me to school. Well, he started and enrolled me in the school. You know, then there was no free education, and so school fees so they never paid my fees. And when you are going to school, pocket money you will not be given. And most of the time, they will sack me. They always sack me, and I'm always behind the building. I think around class 1, class 2. Now, I'll go on empty tummy. And what pains me most is that, expecting that when I come back, we run that shift system. So, after 12:01, when I'm home, at least I should get lunch.
Something to eat.
This is where they will tell you that, oh, it's almost late. Why not wait, and then we take it as supper? And so you have no option to say yes. After saying yes, there is a portion that they will show you that this is where your father, I mean, the man you are staying with, the husband of saying this is a portion that he wants you to finish before he comes back from work. So with empty tummy, quickly you have to take your hoe, and then you are there working.
As young as you were in class 1?
Yeah, class 1, class 2. See me in the farm weeding. And as if that is not enough. Last time I had a program as a motivational speaker and as a counselor. I was speaking to a group of people, showing them some scars on my leg. And what caused the scars? It's the same people that I stayed with. They made me to break stone quarrying, you know.
Yeah.
They gave me hammer. I have a special hammer and head pan then, which the scars are the evidence of what I am telling, to inspire people that God is a destiny changer. So I will sit and they will give me a goggle to break that stone. After you break it, the same person to collect it and heap. I heap it to a level that they use it for concrete. And
the people that made you go through such inhumane, whatever, didn't they have children?
You know, they came for me to take care of their firstborn. When the woman had the first child, that is when they came for me.
Okay.
And so their child was very, very young.
Okay.
Then, and so.
So actually, you went there to go and kind of help them babysit the baby.
Yeah.
But then it turned out to be something else.
It turned out, yeah.
Wow.
So these are some of the challenges.
Now, did any of them beat you?
Oh, that for beating, why not?
It was a norm for you.
Yeah, it was. And going on bed and on empty tummy and other things, was a norm.
So did you, at any point, say no? Did you run away to your grandmother? Did you ask her? Who actually, was your grandmother that gave you out to because of the hardship?
Yeah, it was.
But was there any time that you ran back to her?
Yes, I couldn't run because I was younger.
Okay.
And the distance, it wasn't so close, okay? But something happened. There was misunderstanding between the woman and the husband. And so, fortunately for me, my grandmother has been invited to come for them to settle the issue.
Okay.
So when my grandmom came, that was where I have to quickly tell my grandmom that, no, I'm not comfortable here. And so before you leave, I'm living with you. I think my grandmother came in as a savior to bring me back to the village. So I think that was what solved that side for me. But still, challenge
upon challenges.
Upon challenges, my dear. Challenges upon challenges. Distance, traveling to school. I think after the basic, secondary school was also another
Yes.
trouble. Very, 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 very tough. Secondary school, I think even at the basic, fortunately, I was a best student. At the basic level, I was the best student by then, but very vulnerable.
Yes.
So I was able to finish the basic, and my mom called me. Then my brother has already started the University of Ghana. So my mom told me, because your brother is already there, you should learn a trade because I can't take care of you. So some of the teachers who heard it were able to convince my mom, and I also gave my mother assurance that
you would study.
I will study. I will surprise her. She should just give me a little push.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, she's managing my brother. So I can only be a day student. So of which I agreed to be a day student. So I was a day student from Aflau to 3 Town Secondary School, to be specific. Was like 6 kilometers. And so I was traveling. I trek from Aflau to Denu.
Wow.
6 kilometers. There were instances where she'll get something small and said, okay, then take when you are going, at least. Yeah, but coming, you have to trek with other guys for the 6 kilometers and come back home.
It wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy.
Wow, viewers, I don't know how you're feeling watching this, but I know that it is not always easy, but there's one thing that she's assured us, that God is a destiny changer. We'll continue the interview after this break. Do stay. Welcome back, Mrs. Monica. We're talking about how you were attending school and the long distance at which you were traveling. Do you think that has helped you in any way, that has motivated you in any way? Because people have the luxury of just sitting in a car, ordering a car and taking them to school and all that. When you cast your mind back at how the long distances at which you were traveling to school, what comes into mind?
Yes, I think it helped me. It made me focused and so determined. Yeah, looking at the pain I was going through, I told myself that something good must surely come out from this. So that when I get the platform, I'll use it to advise people. Okay, so it made me so determined and so committed, and I took my studies seriously.
Very serious.
And trust me, it's not only the distance. I was doing other things to be able to survive. You know, I was doing a lot.
Tell us about it.
Yes, I sold pure water weekends at Denu Market. I'm mentioning it specifically for you to know what I'm saying is true. You know, those days we sell water with pot in the pot, the clay pot. Yeah. So Saturdays, you see me in the market with the clay pot, selling water, carrying the water, and we normally use the cup. Yeah. You fetch it. And then it was going with the barter system. Those days, we give water to the market and women, and they give you food, stuffs, and other things for you to go home and sort it out and other things. So with all this stress, yeah, I focused. I told myself that I have to make a history.
Now I understand that you slept in a room with goats.
I did. Why? I slept. Yeah. You know, I told you my mother was the breadwinner then. Yeah. And so I was with my grandma. Before even sleeping with the goats, even soup for us to take with akple, no, we are places akple, was a problem. And so sometimes we don't go for the juicy and the succulent onion, okra. We normally deposit money with the okra sellers in the market, and it was a deal between myself and my grandma. Nobody knew until I came out with these stories. And so sometimes grandma would just give me like 20 pesos or whatever then. Then I go to the market square. There we have customers that, and then we have a nickname for this, the overgrown okra. And so when people are there in the market, my grandma would be like, go to the woman, give this money to the woman, tell the woman that we'll be coming for amokpogbe tomorrow morning. You know amokpogbe. Amokpogbe means the rejected one, what other people rejected. So it means the overgrown okra. Please, are you
Yes,
following? Yeah, so for us to be able to get more, you know, when you go for the soft one, it might be only few.
Yeah.
So we want more. So I'll send the money, and then we'll go for that overgrown one, which will be more. So my grandma will be able to chop it and add more account, and maybe with her bobby and the head, like that, with moringa. We were having moringa all over in our, yeah, so she'll add moringa and prepare the soup more so we can take it 3 days, 4 days. Last I was speaking at a program, I was telling them that it was when I was getting ready to marry before I knew that there's soup. I heard it before that there's granule soup, there is palm nut soup, I know. But for us to stay at home and say we are preparing granule soup, God is my witness. I was getting closer to marry before I have to force myself through and be able to know how to do it perfectly, because it was always this overgrown okra with moringa in the abobi.
Wow.
Yes, and before the goat, where she was rearing few goats, and then she also brought the idea that why not also have a pig, because pig they produce more.
Yeah.
You know, so we're having one pig as well, and I was in charge of the pig. So how do we feed the pig? You know, pig, they eat a lot. So how do we feed? In the community, we go around putting buckets with people in the various homes and say that when you prepare akple, the leftover that you'll be throwing away the following
Kindly
day,
put it in.
you pour it in the bucket for me. The following morning, Monica will come around and then collect all. My brother, it will surprise you that sometime after collecting that, I quickly bring it home. Myself and then my grandma, we enter the room and then we dip our hand inside. Sometimes people dispose of some leftover akple in that water. And that is what you see me picking it with my grandma. Sometimes we get 2 pieces, sometimes 3. And then she will help us with this traditional stove. We mash it. And when we add small corn flour to it, then we have prepared a fresh akple from what people poured in that dirty water. Sometimes in the water you see house flies on top. Yes.
But prepare the fresh one from the rejected one.
The rejected one.
For who to eat? For
us to eat. That is what we eat sometimes. It's not always, but sometimes we are fortunate when we see it like that. It's all joy that, oh, I have found 2. I found 3. And we mash it from that water that we've picked from people's homes. And so coming to the goat, you know, we were having like 6 or 8 there, but I can't actually remember the number of the goats then. But unfortunate thing was that normally the thieves, they climb and then pick them at night. And so my grandma decided that why do we leave them for people to be picking, because sometimes that is what we sell out there and get money. So in the evening, for us to leave them for people to pick, then we send them in. The single room that we're sleeping in, the goats sleep with us in the same room. We have created one corner, and then we have about 4 cement blocks. Then there are ropes on them. With that, we did some kind of hook. And so you suck them in, and then for them not to be moving and be disturbing you, we just chain them with the rope at one corner. The only thing is they disturb a lot. They chew the cord, and then you hear them hitting their leg. But we sleep at one side. They also sleep at one side.
Wow.
Yes.
Your story is really inspiring.
Yes.
Now I want to know, when did, making beverages, or why did you think you should start a business? What informed that decision? It's because of what you went through, that you wanted to be on your own, and I understand, wait, you didn't complete the senior high school because your mom passed, or?
Yes, the senior high school, by God's grace, I was able to finish.
Okay.
I was in the final year at the 3-town secondary school.
Okay.
And I told you earlier that one of the brilliant girls then. So I was the girls prefect 1998 at 3-town secondary. So final year, unexpected happened that I lost my mom.
The breadwinner.
The breadwinner.
How did that affect you?
Seriously, it affected me. So, she wasn't too well, and then up and down. One day from school, I saw people at the entrance of the mortuary, my uncles and other people. So quickly I knew something happened. So it really disturbed me, but I can't remember the name of the teachers who kept encouraging me. And they encouraged me to come to the school, but paying school fees was a problem within that period of finishing the final year. So as a girls prefect, when the senior housemaster is always at the entrance, when my mother died, I wasn't too, for that period, they were giving me the grace period to come. So it came to a point, they started sacking me. So anytime I'm in the class and I see the senior housemaster coming with the list, it came to a point, quickly I have to pick the bag
and go
and start going. But you see, my brother, we are serving a living God. If you are an orphan, if you are a needy person, and all hope is gone, and then you want to give up, that is where God comes through. I think that period, I also accepted Jesus Christ. So a friend introduced me to Jesus Christ, and I started going to church, Assemblies of God at Kwawu. So they were encouraging me, listening to the word of God, but I was still down, giving up. It came to a point I said, I can't finish the school. So I remember one day, Mr. Akpelasi, by then, the senior housemaster, was still coming again with the list. So I quickly picked my bag. When I was going was when he clapped and then called me back. Monica, come back. And I came back, and he was like, a certain man came this afternoon to pay your fees. Who came to pay my fees? Because since I came to that school, it was only my mother, and who passed on. Who could that be? And he said, the man left a message and said, your mother has been good to him some time ago. What actually my mother did, I don't know, but he said, he told the man that the mother of that lady has been nice to me some time ago. And so I came to look for the mother. They told me the mother is no more. And so I'm restless. I want to repay the woman through the daughter. So the man went to the administration, paid my fees and other expenses that
you owed, yeah.
I owed and paid, and left that. By then phone wasn't common, so he left his address, and said, in case you need something, don't speak to her direct. I will be in charge and take care of her. And so the man called, the senior housemaster called me and said, come and sit down. the man promised to come another time. And so that made me not to quit the school, give up. So I think two weeks later, the man showed up and I met him. And he gave me the same story that
your mom was
your
good
mom,
to him.
yes. And so he came as my savior or God sent for me to finish. Not only was I going to finish the school, I actually planned to take my life, because losing my mother at that point was a blow, was a serious blow, because where I have gotten to and the surprise I wanted to give her and the struggle I was struggling, for me to lose my mother at that point. And, you know, she was the only female among 4 men. So no auntie to even speak to me. So I was just there. So, you know, sometimes when something good will come, the devil also gives you it. So he wanted me to end up my life. But today I'm so grateful to God that God helped me not to end my life. Other than that, the best I'm enjoying now would have been in the grave. Yes.
Now let's talk about the victory, what God has done in your life now. Now you are the CEO of EUF.
CEO of Great God Academy. I own my own school now.
Wow.
Yes. I own my own private school now called the Great God Academy in Tema Community 25. I think this is my passion, to touch the vulnerable. You see, when I finished the secondary school, the same man told me that you are a very good student, but looking at where you are coming from in your background, why not go to teacher training college, so that in case you don't have anybody to help you, you know, Alawa.
Yes,
Alawa, Alawa will take care of you. And so I agreed, and I went to St. Francis teacher training. Okay, so with the same vim and the intelligence God has given me, when I got to St. Francis, I was also picked as the ladies preferred there.
Wow, you.
Yes, but the only issue was that I wasn't a Catholic. You know, those high positions should be, so I became the assistant. So when I finished St. Francis as a government trained teacher, casting my mind back, things I went through, I decided to give back to the vulnerable, the needy children. So the vision has come that I should own my own private school. So I started working on it, that I have a private school now, and I have a lot of vulnerable that I push them in, seeking for people that it will touch their life.
To support
they should come, let's support them. And so typical villages that I taught, I have pictures to those effect that I fed a lot of them. See you without buttons. I always, in the classroom teaching, I have needle and thread.
Wow.
Fixing vulnerable children, their buttons. Sometimes, you know, the gentlemen, the boys, they have the spare button normally here. And so I go from class to class.
Picking them.
Picking the spare button. If you ever taught in the villages before, you understand. Some will come to school with only 1 button. So if you are in my shoe and looking back, I go to other classes to pick the spare buttons, feast for them, get shoe for them, feed some of them, bring them home weekend, pound fufu for them, make sure that they are happy. I remember one typical village I taught, when I've been transferred, a lot of children stop the school.
Yeah, because you are there.
Yeah, until they have to send the paramount chief
to come talk
to come to. So that is the passion, and I want to give back to the needy. Yes.
I mean, I totally understand your cause, because you have been there, and so you'll be the best person to drive this cause. Now, what other things you do, and how is funding for you? Has it been difficult? I know it hasn't been easy, but what are some of your challenges? Yes,
the challenges are numerous. Yes, just as I'm saying, my focus is on these little ones. There were a few of them that their fees are piled up, they can't pay. There was time I sent them. I decided to, but I have to go and call them back. I come back to the school. If it is school fees and feeding that will make you out of school, I want you to come back and continue. So right now, the challenge is that we need support. Few stationery can help these children. Some of them, they need uniform. Sometimes some of them shoes that you have to work on. Some, they need storybooks to keep them, because you see, these children, if Monica is having future today, I believe these children
have a future.
They have future, and we have people who can support them. People who can support them. So that is the challenge, the few challenge. My challenge is mainly towards these innocent children and whatever God has destined for them. I believe that God has not just created anybody to
any useless person. Yes.
There
you
are
have to go through something to get to the higher glory.
Yes, sure. And we have to support them.
And you are a testimony, I must say.
Exactly.
Now, to those of you watching, and if you can help, Auntie Monica is right here. Is there a number they can call if they want to get through to
the
you?
number,
You can just put it out.
the number is 0243 428371.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And what other businesses do you do?
Yeah, I'm a government trained teacher.
Okay.
And I own my private school as well.
You can't really go out.
Exactly, yes.
And how are your siblings doing?
They are doing very well. And right now, as I told you earlier, I'm a counselor now.
Okay.
Yeah, I do a lot of counseling services.
Okay.
And also a motivational speaker. Wow. I speak at programs, churches, and other conferences.
Wow.
Some too want to learn a lot from me, how you are able to make it. You need to be determined before you'll be able to get to where. Yeah. So sometimes they need people to inspire them. Yeah. So people call on you and then you speak to them. Yeah.
Wow. Exactly. Aunt Monica, what are your last words to anyone who is watching you, who has lost hope, who has been in your shoes before?
Yeah.
It's now there where you have been, the person is now there and has lost hope. Yeah. What are you going to tell the person? This is your camera.
Okay. I think I've said a lot that you see, when you go to 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 10, it says that after you have suffered for a while, a God of all grace will increase you. And so what I want to say is that whoever is listening or watching should first of all believe in God, that God is a God who turns situations around. So no matter whatever you are going through or the challenge you are going through, do not kill yourself. Do not give up. Do not join bad companies, but you focus on God and be determined. A God who has created you is able to turn situations around. If He has done it for me, God will surely do it for you. Thank you.
Aunt Monica, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Welcome.
We are so inspired. I'm sure those watching are so motivated and that they're not going to look down themselves no matter whatever they are going through. I'm sure your story is going to tell them to move on and then do better for themselves. Wow. We continue this interview after the break with a smartness level segment. Do stay. Welcome to the Smartness Level segment with myself and my guest. Hello, Mrs. Kwawu, right? I got the name
yes,
right.
Exactly.
So on this segment, it's fun. We have fun.
Okay.
We want to find out how smart you are, not like to say you're dumb or something, but it's to test. Yeah.
Okay.
So we ask you 3 questions, and then if you're able to answer all, you get to walk away with something beautiful. So since you're a teacher, I'm sure you're shago brella until you know a lot of things. So let's go. Your first question. Are you ready?
Okay.
So your first question. Something has a neck, but no head, and wears a cap. What is it?
Necklace. Come again.
I have a neck,
Uh-huh.
but no head, and I wear a cap. What is it? What am I?
Serious. It has a neck.
But no head, and wears a cap. What am I? Should I help you?
Yes.
Oh, you use it. It's all over. It's something very common. Not all of us are on set here, but it's something very common.
Common.
Yeah.
It has a neck.
Okay, maybe let me help you with this one.
Okay.
Maybe the second question you get. It's a bottle.
Wow.
You're thinking about lots of things.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so your second question. What is so delicate that saying its name breaks it?
Hush.
My questions are tough, eh? What is so delicate that saying its name, just mentioning its name,
The name.
yes, it breaks it. Should I help you again?
Maybe the last one I'll get it.
So this one is silence.
Hey.
Okay, this one I'm sure you get it.
This one should be very simple.
I'm sure this one you get it. What gets wetter and wetter as it dries?
Ice block.
No.
As it dries.
The answer is a towel. As the towel dries you, it gets wetter. Oh my God.
Next time, bring the simple ones.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much,
okay.
Mrs. for coming
All
on
right.
the show. You've been a great source of inspiration. I
Yeah.
want to say a very big thank you to you, and then in regards to the entire family. And I'm sure a lot of people will help because this platform goes a
Yeah.
long way.
Okay.
So this show is to inspire, motivate, and then help the less privileged. And so you coming to share your story, you get people to help you.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming.
You're
But when you
welcome.
come on the show, you don't go the same. So we have something nice for you.
Thank
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so this is for you.
All right.
And it's the show appreciates you. Thank you for being an inspiration.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on
You're
the
welcome.
show.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
This is how we wrap up an amazing and an inspirational episode of your favorite show is the show that empowers women all over the world to believe in themselves and set out to achieve their dreams despite whatever challenge that life throws at them. The show is proudly brought to you by Smile GH Photography. Smile GH is by far the best production company house that I know of. And so, if you want your weddings, your anniversaries, your pictures taken with that style, the glam, and the quality, contact Smile GH on 026 1089 346 or 024 008 1636. Also follow them on all social media platforms at Smile GH Photography. Also thanks to Templessy Court. Templessy is a home away from home. If you want a place to relax with the family or a place to have that conference meeting, Templessy Court is the right place to be. Contact them on 0244 730025 or 0244 292520. Also thanks to Ogidi Brown Enterprise. They are producers and distributors of Kimabo, beautiful and affordable tiles. So if you want some for your house, call them on 020-2065-920, 020-2065-920. Also thanks to Smart Trends for my lovely outfits. Contact them for some on 027-1381-428, 027-1381-428. Also thanks to Excellence Framing GH for the beautiful frame that we just gave our guests. So if you have a picture any from your weddings or photo shoots and you want it framed beautifully, contact Excellent Framing GH on 050-6153-316, 53316. And finally, thanks to Queen Kesh Kitchen for the amazing food that you give us. If you want jollof rice, bangkun, shit, or whatever thing you want, contact Queen Kesh Kitchen on 057-6591-430 or 024-170510. My name is Richmond Opong Frimpong. I hope you were inspired. See you next week.